Hello again, everybody, and welcome to the Mike Francesa podcast, part of the Bet Rivers Network. We come to you this evening after the Jets' Thursday night loss to the Pats, as the Pats move to an amazing 9-2, clinch a winning season, have a very good chance to be the one seed, amazing as that is. And the Jets fall to 2-8, and their two-game winning streak, which seemed to pump up Aaron Glenn so much, has gone by the wayside. I don't know about you. I might have a little different take on this game this evening. The Jets' opening drive was impressive. I was a little puzzled that the Pats were not ready for Fields running some read stuff on the first drive. It looked like they weren't ready for it. They made a very quick adjustment after the first drive. The Pats answered that drive with a lengthy score of their own, and then they came back and scored again at 14-7. Even before they missed the field goal, that would have given them a 17-7 lead in the first half. At 14-7, I didn't think there was a chance in the world that the Jets were going to win this game. To me, the game at that point, after the two first drives, and I'm not knocking the Pats offense. May is very accurate. He's a talented kid. The offense is very well conceived. They have some weapons. Okay. But I thought the game was played tonight like a scrimmage. For a long time, there were no sacks. The Jets aren't going to get any turnovers, so there was no turnovers. There were no hard hits. I mean, this is a division game. It just seemed like there was no intensity in the game. They went up the field, they went down the field. They went up the field, they went down the field. And it was a very oddly played game. One, I never thought the Jets could win. The Pats didn't even seem interested when they got the turnover on the 10-yard line when Fields fumbled. I mean, those three plays were from hunger. I mean, it didn't even look like they were trying to get the ball in the end zone. I don't know what the point spread was, whether it was 12.5, 13, 13.5. I don't know if you got won or got beat on that. Who knows? I don't know. That's a story for you. But I just didn't think there was a whole lot of intensity in this game. I was not impressed with the New England defense at all. I thought they let Fields get away for first downs 3 or 4 times when they had him dead. Fields is, listen, I hate to do this. He's a terrible quarterback because he cannot pass. He is an awful thrower. Can he run? Yes. Is he elusive? Absolutely. The best play he has is when he drops back. You send the pass rush up the field. They send guys down the field, and then he runs for a first down. That's their offense. And late in the game, that's their offense. If they do that a couple of times, they get first downs. If they don't, they don't. I mean, it's that. And Glenn comes in, and I don't think he thought he was going to win this game. I think he was somewhat satisfied with some of the play, and some of the young players played okay. I thought the offensive line came out really strong in the first drive. I thought the first drive was well conceived. I thought the secondary broke up a couple of plays. Listen, they broke up that Hollins play, which should have gone for a touchdown. Okay, Hollins had the ball dead in his hands, and then the guy knocked it out of his hands. I thought that was at least an effort. I thought the Jets gave some effort at times. But I never thought they were going to threaten in the game. And it seemed to me that in the second half, the Pats were just going through the motions. That's how the game felt to me. And it was a ho-hum 27-14 game that was, 7-0 Jets, 7-7 New England, 14-7 New England. They miss a field goal, 21-7 New England, 21-14, 24-14, 27-14. I mean, to me, it was just a game that had no excitement, no intensity. And to me, it was highly, highly predictable. New England's 9-2. They have a very easy schedule. They have 2 tough games on their schedule. They have the Bills and the Ravens back-to-back. That's it. They have a very good chance to be the 1 seed. I don't think they have a great defense. I think their offense is going to score points. There's no question. They have some good people. They have a very good offensive coordinator. They can do a lot with their two tight end stuff. Their offense is well conceived. Their quarterback knows how to play. He's very accurate. Nothing not to like there. They're definitely going to the playoffs. They might be the 1 seed. Okay, it's a great turnaround year under Vrabel, and all is right in New England. For the Jets, I don't know if Tyrod Taylor's not healthy. I don't know why you'd keep playing Fields. Maybe they see no use in playing. Fields has got no future here. We know that. Maybe they want to try, but they don't want to win a lot of games. I don't know. Most of the good quarterbacks who everyone thought were going to flood this draft are going to be next year, not this year, it looks like. That doesn't mean there won't be a quarterback worth taking at the top of the draft. That remains to be seen. Like I said, I think Glenn is I think he acts really, really foolish at times. I think he wants to be he wants to be out there and be in your face as a head coach and set an agenda. You need to win to do that. I think his team has improved in some areas. I don't think they're not trying in areas. But if you can't throw the football, if you have no conventional passing game, you are not going to win games. That's all there is to it. Especially when you've sold off or traded off your best defenders. The quarterback isn't good enough to win. They won last week with 57 yards passing. They don't force any turnovers. If they don't get some miraculous plays in the game, like two long special teams touchdowns last week, they can't win. They're not going to beat a good team. They're not going to win a lot of games. We know that. That's just the way it is. Now, you knew from the beginning that Glenn wasn't going to be a one-hit wonder. They weren't going to do that. They made a commitment to him. They gave him a lot of money. As soon as they traded and bankrolled the draft picks, you know he's here for the long haul as they try to rebuild this. They have broken it down, so now they are clearly in a rebuilding mode. He is having an impact on some of the young players. Some of them are playing hard. I wouldn't take that away from him. Why he pulls some of the stunts in the press conference he does, I don't know if it's just a lack of experience or him wanting to walk in the shoes of the guys he idolizes. Whatever it is, you know what? It's hard to do when you're 2-7, 2-8. Very hard, especially in New York. He seems committed to Fields. It seems like he looks the other way for Fields. He has sat down and gotten rid of players who have made far, far fewer mistakes than Fields has made this year. You cannot win with a Fields at quarterback. Does he have legs? Yes. When he said today, we have very high standards. How could you say you have very high standards and send that guy out to play quarterback? Plus, we don't want to run him too much. We don't want to get him hurt. Why? He can't throw. If he's not running, he is worthless. This is just the truth. I mean, sorry. He is a very athletic runner. He is not an accurate passer. He misses guys by 10 and 15 yards. He can't put the ball anywhere near where it's supposed to be. He has no touch. Yes, is there an occasional pass that should be caught that he throws? Well, wonderful. Once in a while, someone's going to hit it. But the bottom line is he's not a quarterback. He is not a quarterback who can play the position in this era of the NFL because he cannot throw the football. And the rest of these games this year, we're going to go through the same things. They're not going to win very many games. They might beat the Saints. They might beat the Dolphins, but they're not going to win very many games. And when they do, they're going to win them because of Hall. They're going to win them because of their pass rush. They're going to win them because they made a play on special teams, or they're going to win it because Fields made a big run somewhere. Okay. And overcame the fact that he can't get the ball down the field with the pass. To me, the Jets aren't even the least bit interesting right now. Their draft will be very interesting. How they try to rebuild this team and what they do with those picks will be very interesting. To me, nothing they do the rest of the season will be very interesting. I know Glenn's back. I know that staff is going to come back pretty much as is. I think they are okay with where they're going there. I think they like some of the things they're doing, but they are a long, long way from getting anything accomplished because they are a zero at the quarterback position. And until that changes dramatically, they are going nowhere. And I still don't know if Glenn can take them there. I don't know that yet. I don't know if he can. I don't know if he can't. I haven't liked some of the early things I saw. I think the team has responded in the last couple of weeks in certain ways that he deserves some credit for. So I want to be fair to him. But his blind spot with the quarterback is just a joke. I mean, there's nothing short of it. It's a joke. Now, maybe Tyrod's hurt. We don't know it. Otherwise, Tyrod should be playing because he's the better quarterback, because he can move the football. I know he'll be hurt in 2 weeks if he plays. I mean, that's because that's Taylor. But let him play. Me sitting through this game tonight was painful. It really was. Sitting through the second half of this game tonight was torture. It really was. It was tedious, soft football. That's what it was. Soft football. I was not impressed with the New England defense at all. And I think New England was playing with basically their eye towards the 10 days off. They knew they couldn't lose this game. Sign up for the free Mike Francesa newsletter. You'll get exclusive content, contests, all different goodies. Go to the MikeFrancesa'Podcast.com and sign up. And remember, it's free, so you can't beat it. Now, players who place a qualifying same-game parlay of at least $10 on eligible NFL and NCAA football games will receive one standard entry into the weekly Bet River Squares games. Winning standard squares will be awarded a prize of a $20 bonus bet. See app and website for more details. Got an interesting week of football this weekend. Let me address the Dable thing today. And that is the leak that came out, which showed Dable's inability to control his emotions, his inability to get along with his staff, the problems that he's had with his staff, which has followed him now for years with the Giants. There are always going to be, when the coach leaves, players with access to grind. Okay. No, there's no team where every player loves you. You've taken jobs away from certain guys. You've hampered the careers, gotten to the pocket of certain guys. Okay, that's human nature. You have to take that into account. And it never makes a franchise look good when you have, and the reporter is doing his job. If a player goes to him with a story, he's going to go with it. So I'm not blaming the reporter here. But you would hope that you had a team that is tight enough to understand that what happens in that room stays in that room. And that the idea of kicking a guy after he's already been run out of the building, he's already been fired, already taken away his job, they've already taken away his dream, and you feel a necessity to destroy him on top of that and maybe hurt him or try to hurt him for future employment. That stuff should always be taken with a grain of salt because there are always players with axes to grind. There are always coaches with axes to grind. But let's be honest. I'm going to be fair here. This reputation has followed Dable for years. He was a hothead. He was a hothead this year when he went after the doctor. Cost the Giants 200 grand, cost him 100 grand. He has gone after his assistants before. He had a very open and ugly battle with Wink Martindale, who had a lot to do with his first year winning. And let's be honest, I'm going to be fair here. He did some things to Wink Martindale that weren't pretty. I'm going to be fair. So there was a lot of ugliness there. And he's got that reputation. And that's something that needs to get cleaned up because that's going to hurt him going forward. And now this kind of thing doesn't make it any better. But when you get these kinds of stories, always take them with a grain of salt and realize that somebody's got an axe to grind, whether it's an assistant coach, whether it's a player in the room. And you just wish teams could stay, together and not do that. But it happens a lot. It's unfortunate, but it happens a lot. Now, Kefka has been very generous despite what went on. And everyone knows he had his issues and had his run-ins with Dable, as a lot of guys on the staff did. He was very generous about him the other day at the podium. He took the high road on everything, which is the smart way to go about it. And let's see how he stands up to things going forward, because now it's his moment. Dable's gone. Now it's his moment. But you know what? Nobody needs that nonsense that we got today. And it's predictable. It really is. We'll see you later.